Okay, morning team. Morning. I'm trying to be calm here. Frustrated with this market, waking up to this. Yet another grind overnight, which we expected. After that close yesterday, taking out the 920, retesting those key levels we talked about in the newsletter. Done in the after hours. Not even done into close, done in the after hours. Probably because of that Oracle gap up. All right, big earnings for Oracle. Only seen some of tech move with it overnight. Tesla reclaiming that key level of 72, I think it was we talked about. We're going to double check that anyway. I have got a feeler on here long just from this dip down. I was hoping we'd retest down here, but on that recovery, so I'm long at the moment. Just a little one lot, seeing if we can start to squeeze out and retest these highs because we have got some liquidity above. So let me just get my stop in here and just so I can relax. Let's just get that right up underneath that 4,000. Okay. So daily, what are we looking at? All right. Finally, we're in breakout. All right. We are in breakout. What's the target? All-time high, right? All-time high has got to be the target. We've got to go and take that out on NQ. Why have we got to do that? Because the amount of times that we left it and 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 left it, we want to take this out. What's the problem with that all-time high? Because we've spent, all right, so long now, since I'd say July, in this range here, all right, because we've just done this in a range, the Bollingers have tightened up, all right? We actually need a day with follow through because we need to do this to the Bollingers to allow this to move up. Even if we want to play the reversal, we need a day with some follow through to take out this high. We have to see it in this market. So let me just move my stop up a bit here. We're starting to move a little bit. So that's what we're looking for. Now, once we take out all that all-time high, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about either breakout retest or fail breakout, return back inside the range. But market's bullish, all right? We just ignored the fact that we've lied about the numbers yesterday, the jobs numbers, lied about them to the point of almost 1 million, right? Which equates to we've had 76,000 less jobs a month than previously stated, all right? 76,000, which means we have a shrinking economy, which is not what you want to see, but we shook it off. Price at the moment is king, and price says, hey, we don't care. We've got more business going upside right now. We need to take these guys out. We probably need to get to OPEX, and then we can see what's what. So price is strong. That's the target. After that, we can think about fail breakouts and pullbacks. So let's move into the hourlies. Right, down here, hourly chart. Now, the volume profile on this is your previous week. Right here, which you see yesterday, we held. All right, we held previous week value. We actually didn't quite revisit it. We got close right here. We were looking to take out these lows. Did it take it? No, because NQ is horrible like that. All right, left these lows. So we will come back for these later. I don't know if it's this week, next month, but there's no way we're leaving that there like that. That is a lack of excess at that low. I do not trust it. If we zoom in to what we've had the last hour off that PPI print, which came in cool, we've been pushing. All right, so where do we get thin? This gray box, right? This gray box is showing thin liquidity. All right, you can see that. I'll show you when we go to the lower time frame. It's very, very visible. All right, so that breakout over the last hourly high or Globex high right here was thin on that move back. We came back, we retraced some. Did we tap into the low liquidity? No, of course not. NQ missed it again. This is why this market's getting frustrated. I'm trying to stay chill at the moment, but it is frustrating because it's not, technically it's not trading well. All right, we're not taking out levels. We're not retesting levels. We're missing them over and over and over again in NQ. So it's very tricky to trade because I'd hate front running. I like waiting for proper retests, but this is what we've got. So at the open, what are the opportunities? Well, if they go straight squeeze for the open, all right, if they don't try and pull back, what are we looking at? You're looking for that breakout to take out all-time highs. From that point off, you need to be selling if you're going to take that shove. That's a risky trade to me, but it's there and it's available. If we zoom in down here, you can see how we're trying to build out this liquidity here. If we're going to come for retest today, you'd be watching Globex, all right? Do we hold Globex for that move higher? Do we hold an opening print, the New York Open, for that move higher? If we fail Globex, where are we failing to? Well, we've got the hourly low here, which we could always sweep under and trap to come higher. And we've got this RBS level right here. This old high, old high, old high became support into close yesterday, into the after hours. We bid off, we pulled back in Globex, we held again. We know this is a big level now. All right, so basically your 885s, we can call it 900. 900. Here is a massive level. All right, massive level. If we hold that today, we're bullish. It's as simple as that. Any pullback into there, if it holds it, we're bullish. If we fail that level, what we're looking at? Well, we're watching this trend line, and we're watching the next level down, which would be 850s. And technically, all the time we're holding any of this range here, which we built over the last few sessions, we're bullish. All right. If we start letting go of these levels here, it's that same level, 725. That and only then is when I think there is a bigger short possible in this market. Why? Because that will mean if we go under here, that we leave all these participants trapped for that move. Until then, any short, I'm just going to deem a pullback to hold to go higher, unless we take out the all-time highs and then fail. That's a whole different scenario. But if we leave these highs, every pullback, I'm assuming, is going to be some form of bear trap. The question is just, where is it going to stop? So we're watching Globex, definitely watching this hourly low here. I'm actually going to mark that because we have some excess on there. That is your Newswick low as well. That becomes important. Let's mark this out. All right, that is an important low. Oh, don't move that. And then underneath that, Globex. Where did we close yesterday? Right here, and PDC then as well. So PDH, PDC, Globex, those are your levels. If it's going to hold right now, it looks like it's going to continue to squeeze higher, and move my stop up a little bit further here. Just protect these profits. So yes, we're looking for pullbacks where possible. We're looking for that drive higher. Let's go to lower time frame. All right, so that you can see how thin we are. Let's just go for Globex session. So you can see we're gapping up significantly. This was PDC, 874. All right, that's a big old move. Almost 200 points. If we measure this, get to the open, that'll do. All right, you'll see where we get thin. All right, right here. For that break above Globex, in here is thin structure. Bulls will want to protect this thin structure. That's why I was really hoping this drifted into here and gave me a better setup to get long into. All right, this is key. If we fail that structure, we're going to come down to Globex. So we're either looking for this, which it's already tried. If not, we're looking for this. All right, if not that, then we're maybe looking for a move down underneath this low and a trap underneath. And if not that, then we may be looking for this move all the way down to fill the gap, which means what? Which means there are counter trend shorts in here to take down, because there's plenty of room there, 200 points here from here to here. There's plenty of room if you want to take that short. It's possible. When would I feel more confident about that short? If we take out that all-time high and we fail, and we have another push and we fail and we start to rotate under here. That then feels much better leaving excess up here than it does at the moment, where we've not taken it out. All right, until we take this out, I really want to focus on bullish moves. The question is, where do they come from? All right, do we do a whole gap fill? Obviously, if we get underneath that gap, I'd be slightly concerned. All right, let's have a look at the broader market, because we do have divergence, as we've had for like a month. So guess what? New all-time highs on ES. Yeah, fantastic, just to make life a little bit harder for us. So into the close yesterday, same kind of thing, consolidation. There's your squeeze out, and overnight grind. There's your big pullback, and it held that level. So this is a big level here on ES now, 530s, and obviously we held those 5,065 yesterday. That was your IB. We traded under, trapped underneath, good push up. New all-time high here on ES. So where's your pullback level? Right here, right? You're wanting that to be a pullback. This is thin in here, same kind of thing. If we fail that, Globex. If we fail that, PDC. Don't forget to do an anchor off your newsprint as well. It will help you. So far today, we've held the anchor. If we go and have a look at VIX now, let's move to a 5-minute. You can see it's getting absolutely decimated. All right, back into what? Back into this old demand bot. All right, so this is where we bid out from at the end of August. We're coming right back into it now. We keep just drifting down, sub 15. Market will stay very, very bullish. Very bullish. All right, this is where it gets interesting. Apple bid up in front of its news event. News event yesterday, tried to bid up, failed. These buys up here have remained trapped at 38. That is supply on Apple, right here. They remain trapped up here. We've got trapped buyers. What are we doing? Rotating. Probably where to the cup. All right, somewhere down here. We do have RBS right here that we're trading into right now. All right, but Apple sold off yesterday on that news event. All right, does it bid off this RBS zone? If it does, it's going to try and reclaim up here. If Apple starts catching a bid today, it can help the market squeeze. If Apple goes into a sell underneath pre-market lows, it's going to come back all the way to 27. So this pre-market low to open is key. Hold this, it can help the market squeeze. Fail underneath this, come back to 227. Market will bleed while we do that, probably. I mean, yesterday it managed to shrug off the whole thing. Amazon, same thing, not really moving here. All right, a bit lackluster. We're actually gapping down. So there's the move yesterday on Amazon, very strong. We're coming back into this box. There's PDC, there's PDH. Here's your chop. All right, so far Amazon and Apple both weak. Obviously Apple much weaker, but not showing strength here. I know it's just a pullback, but you'd like to see this gapping up off the news, and we're not seeing that. Goog, strong. All right. Strong bid yesterday, grind up, consolidating at highs. If we get a new push out above 240, fantastic. We can look for a wyckoff under here, but if we see failures and they retest and stay heavy, we're coming back down to this level. So Goog, strong. Meta, same thing, looks pretty good. There's yesterday's grind up, consolidation at highs with this level here to try and take out. Good. That's good. That's what we want to see. If we're going to look for strength, that's what we want to see. Same story here. Microsoft. Nice grind up in the pre-market. Coming back to this key level. Filling this. We want to reclaim 08s, build liquidity here for the move higher. We don't want to just retest this and fail back down. But it's a nice move. Pre-market. Nvidia, fantastic. This is the one that's important. All right. Caught a bid right before the close in that last hour, boom, and then pre-market as well off Oracle. Okay, and then maybe we can keep going. So why is this important? Because this has been the weak one. We talked about this old range, right? This range sort of here, 74s. This was the range we failed from. We bear flagged underneath. We came back down. We swept this low, and now we're starting to reclaim. So if it pulls back and holds 74s, then really we should test the top side of the range, which will be great. If we just come back under 74s and fail, that's not a good look. So one eye on that. How are we doing for time? We're running out of time here. Tesla. That's good, gapping up. You want to see it bid over these levels for that retest of those highs. So bit of a mixed bag. As you see, Amazon and Apple weaker. The rest of the market looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So you know the plans, you know what we're looking for. Just got stopped out on this, so not bad actually. Managed to lock in some decent money there. I'm going to wait for this opening print. All right, at the open, I'm going to wait to see what we do on this New York print. If we pull back, let's just make sure these are marked out, shall we? Tradeify does really annoy me sometimes. Here, and let's add that anchor back on, which it's already forgotten. No, you don't want to do it, Tradeify. You fancy do it for me? There we go. Okay, this is the range from that news candle. Do not be too aggressive in this morning push for this range. Let's just let the New York open. settle down. You've got about 40 seconds. We have had spoofers on the tape this morning. All right, this guy was 1,000 lot earlier. I can show you him, and then he left. All right, he was 1,000. He was 1,000 lot. Then he went into 3,500 lots, and now he's just moved them up. All right, so just be aware. He's a spoofer. He's legit, but he's a spoofer. We'll see if he gets filled today. I want to be aware of him. There are lots of games on the tape. Remember, we're gapping up pretty high here. All right, the close yesterday was 873. We can afford a decent pullback if we want to, and then we'll just look to see if we put in bullish structure at some key levels. All right, at some key levels. Here's the open, folks. I didn't get a chance to do the good mornings this morning. I'm very, very sorry about that. Hopefully we get back into it. All right, ES coming all the way back down. Here's a big, big aggressive sell. Here we come, flush, 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 flush into RBS. Do we find a bid here is the question, or are we going to see follow through downside? All right, through this thin structure. If we see follow through, we can keep coming. Remember, we've got that news wick low. It's not that far away. A thin structure in this level here, in this sort of grey box into Globex here. Do they find a bid here to force us back up? So far, the answer is no. They're just chopping around. ES to its VWAP found, well, it's trying to find a bid there. SPY already flushing through all of that. So heavy market here so far at the open, like we talked about. Very, very thin on that move up. It looks to me like we're coming for that news wick at the moment. Let this settle down. Remember, we've left New York right up high. Now we've got all these buyers from 75 and above trapped currently. So let's just see, folks. Let's see. Not touching this for now. I want to see if we start reclaiming or if we're going to take out that Newswick low first. Gross market. Leaving the all-time highs by a little bit. Awful, awful, awful market, unfortunately. All right, just hanging around at VWAP currently. If we start closing underneath that Newswick low, I'd be slightly concerned for this market. If we start closing under here, let's see. What a fun market. Into a sell on the morning without taking the highs. Okay, Apple opening up down 1.35% down, Amazon 1.38% down, Google 0.25% down, Meta 0.82% down. So Mag not enjoying this morning, all flushing so far. It's just a joke at the moment. All right, back to VWAP. We haven't taken out those new Newswick lows. Kind of expect it to do that at the moment. It came that close. You would expect it to take it out. You would expect it to take it out. If we're going to come that close, that's what you'd expect. But we all know what NQ's been like recently. Nice and patient here, folks. Let's just wait and see. At the moment, I'd say buyers from the news trapped overhead, and we're starting to protect that low volume to the downside here. So if we can't reclaim that low volume, I think the market will be in trouble. This is sort of the low volume here. It's going to have to reclaim this level here. It's up to 70s, really. And ES is going to have to, well, it's going to have to reclaim its SBR level, which is not going to be easy. So far, ES finding a bid off VWAP, not coming down to those Newswick lows. NQ the same, not coming down to the Newswick lows. Into this low vol. Just going to let this shake out. Got to let it shake out at the moment. That's an aggressive sell. Start the session. We've left those Newswick lows. They're going to bid off this by leaving it. What a dumb market with a lack of technicals. All right, ES into low volume area, NQ into low volume area. Oh my God. Seriously, you're going to leave it by what? Like 8 points. Oh my gosh. All right, buyers are trapped up here so far. All right, buyers are trapped up here. All right, so it's possible we see a push that fails. Normally, I'd be confident about something like this building out to come and take this and then think about what's what. In this market, I'm going to tell you now, I have no confidence in this market with how it's acted. The fact that it keeps leaving levels is very dangerous. We've left the high and we've left the low. So I definitely lack confidence in this market. I'm just going to be very honest with you. So far, we're finding bids. ES is trading at that thin level right now. So it's got to make a decision here. ES right back to that SBR. Incredible that NQ left that low. So view up here, anchor view up here. This is off the newsprint. All right, this is average price and buyers and sellers off the newsprint. We're trading right back to this low vol, which ends here in this grey box. If we trade through that, then we're going to trade into what? Into where these buyers are currently stuck. If we let them out, we build liquidity above the New York, then I think we take out the all-time high. Like I said, normally I'd feel good about looking for some form of bearish move downside to take out that low. But right now, I'm not really feeling it. Back to view up here, folks. ES is repriced through that thin imbalance that it put in through the PPI. We're starting to hold that imbalance on Qs as well. Why is this? Seriously, trading view, are you just going to change everything? You got to be kidding me. Whoever is in charge of updates and coding at TradingView needs to be fired. Literally just changing stuff by itself now. All right. Like I said, normally I'd be confident about a sell back down to take this out. I'm not really confident in it this morning, just because of how we've acted. But it's possible we're going to do that move at this point. As in towards low of day, it's choppy here. But we rejected anchored view up off that candle, off the news candle. If we're going to take out these lows here, then we can think about what's next. If we do that, ES is holding on very, very well. Microsoft about to go red on the session now as well. So Nvidia, the only one pushing right now. Everything else is pretty much in a sell. Tesla as well holding up all right, but everything else is in a sell. Maybe I should have taken that breakdown, 65s, that would have been good. Hard to trust this market. I mean, the divergence is massive. Remember, ES is right up here at the moment. It's holding on well. It's quite a big divergence between them. We should take out this low. We really should take out this low. So double bottom here, lower day. We should be taking out this low on this Newswick candle. We should not be leaving this low at this point. Okay, here we go. There's the low. So low tagged. What's going on, NT? I've lost my candles. I have to close this and reopen it. What's going on? Come on, Ninja Trader, wakey wakey. All right, Newswick low tagged. All right, so if we bid back up now, the squeeze is on. If we stay selling, then you know what you're looking at. The next level will be PDH right here, 21s, Globex, and then PDC. All right, but this is what was the low hanging fruit, which we've now taken. Man, Nvidia's super strong, now 4% up. The rest of the market's in a sell. Everything's in a sell other than Nvidia right now. ES is holding its range pretty well. Still hasn't taken out the news low. Feels like it wants continuation down at the moment. Here's PDH here as well on NQ. So if you took that short that I talked about off these flow zones down to here, make sure you're covering some. If you get continuation here, then fantastic. SPY now under its VWAP as well. ES not there yet. Q's under the VWAP. I'm watching to see if they trade into PDH from yesterday because we have divergence between them, between the ETFs at the moment. Feels like it wants to keep selling. ES is holding on really well by comparison. It's just midpoint of its range right now. Nvidia on an absolute tear. On an absolute tear at the moment. If and when that thing stops, market might start bleeding. Because the rest of the market is in trouble here. Retagging into that Newswick low. So no shorts down here, please. You should be covering down here. We've got to wait for it to build out some more structure and make its mind up because this is nothing more than a range. Remember, overall, we are bullish. And if we stay heavy, then we can look for London lows and Globex lows and PDC, which are all the way down here. We're going to need to see some more structure be built out, some push and fails if we're going to do that. You want to be careful because we've already swept a low hanging fruit. At the moment, market's staying very heavy here. It's more of a sweep underneath. Let's see if there's any continuation down towards any of these Globex levels now at this point. ES holding VWAP for now. If that starts letting go, you might get continuation. So I'll give you a readout. Tesla, basically flat on the day. Nvidia, 4.39% up now. Microsoft, 0.25% down. Meta, 1.44% down. Google, 0.5% down. Amazon, 1.5% down. Apple, 2.12% down. All right, here's the push. All right, so we have now swept with a bit of excess. How do we act into this level? Are we going to reject? All right, are we going to do this for a continuation down, or are we going to start reclaiming for that squeeze? Remember, I'm going to keep mentioning that we left all-time highs up here by a very small amount. All right, there is room to come up there if they start turning on the buy algo today. ES still holding very, very well. All right, Microsoft trying to go red to green. Tesla trying to go red to green. We're back into that thin volume that we talked about. This is Globex. I'm actually can afford to get rid of this at this point. So into Globex high, orange line here. Do we protect that? Range a little bit better so far today, 87 points. So the edge of this now becomes key. Buyers trapped above that. Opening range now set, folks. White lines are your opening range, right? So if you're going to see continuation outside of the opening range, depending what your kind of play is, maybe you're looking for a 5-minute close outside of it. I don't know, but that's what you can consider. ES is still holding on. ES is above its VWAP. It's holding on very, very, very well right now. All right. If ES starts letting go of VWAP, we might get some continuation. Right now, we're just sort of whipping around back and forth. We're trading into previous week high here and that previous day high currently. Do they let go of previous day high and previous week high? And can we trade down and close that whole gap? I guess is possible if ES lets go. At the moment, ES has got no interest in letting go whatsoever. It is just holding very, very well above VWAP. Nowhere near its news candle low, right? Nowhere near this candle low at the moment, ES. Nvidia now 4.5% up. Mega squeeze is on. It's the only thing up in the market. Well, it's like Tesla's 0.04% up, but it's the only significant thing up in the market. Amazon, the weak one right now, approaching 3% down now. Remember, Nvidia, biggest stock in the market, has a big effect. Q's finding a bid here in that opening range low. ES very strong. Very strong. Still in its sort of horrible range, but it's strong. Tesla finding a bid now. What's this door? Oh. More chopping ES. Holding on well, but chopping around. Remember, low-hanging fruits on NQ have been taken. We had previous day high here, previous week high here. PDC is down here, and Globex if we're going to stay heavy. NQ is the one you want to short today at the moment. If it's going to rotate lower, it's going to be the easier trade short side. Here we go, back towards that opening range low. Let's see if they break down here or if they trap. If they don't get a break of a new low here, it's going to be a problem for the market. If they get a break of a new low here, then I think we can go PDC. Very, very different markets right now between NQ and ES. Very, very, very different. Divergence is big. Will not make it easy. I don't remember a market this bad, I'm going to be honest, where the divergence continues to play out every single day this bad. I don't remember it. So disjointed. All right, ES reclaiming range. This is dangerous now. If ES starts reclaiming the top of this value, then NQ might find a bid and start pushing with it if they're going to trade as a pair. At the moment, they're pretty decoupled. Show you what I mean. ES is way up here. All right, looking to take this out. Remember, NQ's trading way under this right now. Here we go. So the decoupling. Fucking nightmare to trade when it's like this. Pardon my French, but it's getting boring trading such a terrible market since June or July. Still waiting for the volume to come back in this market, really, for more decisive action. Thank you. Not able to get through VWAP at the moment. You can see rejecting VWAP at the moment. The sellers don't break under here. This is where they get stuck. Remember, we've taken all low-hanging fruit other than this. This is the only thing left now on NQ is down here. ES is trading back towards its highs. And all of the mag is in a sell other than Nvidia and Tesla. Nvidia pulling back a little bit. Oh my God. I mean, it's insane that Oracle's up that much given the size of that float. Absolutely insane, but there we go. Also think rollover is making this hard. Remember, we've got rollover next week. Okay, if we reclaim, remember we've got all-time highs. Hard to think about that right now given what we're seeing in the mag, but if we reclaim, we have got all-time highs up there to go for. Rejecting Globex again here. If they break underneath the lows, we probably go PDC, but it's hard to think about that all the time. ES is holding on. ES having a bit of a rejection here, coming back to its New York VWAP. Let's see. What SPY does at VWAP here is key. Here it is, tapping into it. Do they see any follow through to the downside now on ES? Do we get a sell in NQ start to build, or do they just trap shorts at these lows? Holding VWAP for now on ES. There's the flush. Jesus Christ. Well, that was fast. All right, heavy in here. See if we can get follow through to PDC now. Previous week high just got tagged. Jesus Christ. Look at that sell. They're trying to hold the bid here. You can see buyers trying to absorb here. Wow, that was so heavy so quick. They absolutely slammed that on ES. And look at the absorption on the tape. Someone came in 50 lot, 50 lot, 50 lot, 50 lot, trying to absorb. Just going to turn this aircon off here. All right, previous week high holding so far. Remember, higher time frame we're still in a buy. I want you to remember that, like we talked about. These are sort of counter trend shorts on the higher time frame, where we might find a bid at some point. All right, just remember that. We're stuck underneath that low right now. ES still not got down to there. Make sure I mark this out. That was some strong selling which just got absorbed there. Let me see if there was news there. Yeah, ES still not a news low, still holding VWAP. Relative strength in the ES. Trump and White House are tracking the reports out of Poland that there are plans for President Trump to speak with. Really? That can't be what's moving it. I think someone just got stuck. Okay, seeing relief here now, holding. This is your previous week high. This is previous day high. So these are potential bid levels for higher time frame traders. This is the blue box, which we said is an RBS zone. They want to hide this, then they can. This is a level, and this is a level. All right. We need to wait for bullish structure, which is not there yet. We're still in a sell like this for now. But if we start to see tapering and a curl, then we can think about getting long. Otherwise, they can still keep drifting down until they're done selling. I'm having to do everything 5 times on TradingView at the moment. ES stuck at its VWAP. We're right at that opening range now on previous day high on the NQ. Still underneath VWAP, still underneath flow zone, still in a sell. Still potential to come down to PDC and fill that whole gap if it wants. Kind of feels like it's attempting to do that at the moment. It's going to need ES to let go of VWAP though, which so far is not happening. This is where it gets really tricky. It's very hard to trade them together if they're not in alignment. So that would mean something is strong in the ES, which is holding the market up. Tesla's starting to find a bid, now almost 0.5% up. Microsoft's found a bid gone red to green. So definitely there is interest bidding around these levels at the mag, but I still think there's a chance to move down to that PDC at the moment. ES back to VWAP again for the 100 millionth time today. Remember, if shorts do not get that sell down under here, they will get stuck. If there is not a new low of day here underneath this opening range, they will get stuck down here. We've basically been down here for 15 minutes now without a real breakdown. We had one big candle, we repriced and got above that. If we start flipping back above 32s, they're going to get stuck. Right? Just think about this. They will get stuck. If they don't get a breakdown under here, maybe their target is this. If they don't get that, they will get stuck. If they get that, then they're okay. Kind of hard when the best selling opportunity today was literally that open. Maybe this, but it was hard with the ES holding up, which has been the story for a while now. ES new all-time highs. NQ not new all-time highs. No, Dean, I'm not trading ES. I trade NQ. That's it. Don't care. And if I'm going to be short today for this counter trend move, I want to be trading NQ. Yeah, that's good, Bowden. You need to be looking at both. It's very useful. Yeah, I agree, Peter. I'm not sure why it's happened. A few times recently it's happened. It is frustrating to come to the screens and having to change everything on TradingView over and over and over again. Right, we're attempting to go back to VWAP. ES has reclaimed it. SPY has reclaimed it. Qs have relative weakness on the day. If we start recovering these levels, if we start bidding back over here, if we start putting in high highs and high lows, we have targets above. The only thing is we've left the unfortunate thing. If we want to get to this all-time high, let's not do that. If we want to get to that all-time high, we're going to have to get through these trap buys at the moment, which are going to make it very hard for us. So until then, we're in a sell. Why do I feel like this market's just going to stop now? It's just going to do what we keep doing. We do one move sideways, one move sideways. I cannot wait until we've got FOMC and OPEC's out of the way. I think we might get a market back again that actually does something. Just gone to sleep again now in this market. ATR approaching sub 10 per 1 minute. I've already lost interest, as you can see. Yeah, exactly. Rollover next week. That's exactly it. OPEX rollover, trip witch. Exactly it. Starting to play out in these futures markets, starting to get a little bit lame. All right, yes, trying to find a bid up towards that New York high. So yes, already up here right now. Never a good thing when you look at the market and you go, oh, Apple over 2% down, Amazon over 2% down, Google 0.18% down, Meta 1.44% down. And then you get the next three. Microsoft 0.44% up, Nvidia 3.91% up, Tesla a third of a percent up, a quarter percent up now. Never a good thing. Never a good thing. They don't know what they want. They're not aligned. ES and Q are not aligned. ES is going to go for that New York high at the moment. So here goes NQ into VWAP. Do we see follow through here? Do we start seeing the break of this sort of channel, reclaiming with higher highs and higher lows for a reclaim of, well, we'd have to get through this. This is a SBR level here, right? Support, support, support becomes resistance. This level here, this is thin in here, right? If we protect this, we're protecting it for sellers. If we trade through this, then we're looking for this move all the way back up. It's going to need the mag to turn on the buy algo though to do that. Coming back into that anchored VWAP off the news candle for now. Still not bullish on this yet. It's going to have to really prove itself for me. ES looks good. Remember, NQ is going to be way harder to bid up than the ES today. So if you're looking for a buyer, the ES should be a better buy and the NQ should be a better sell so far today. Here goes the ES though. It's in a hurry at the moment. All right, into Globex here on NQ. We're starting to do that move now. Can it sustain higher highs and higher lows at this point, lower time frame or not? Does Alex trust it? No. QQQ into its VWAP here. Here's the push into that low volume. We're going to need a squeeze and a pullback to set a higher low. So short so far are trapped down here. So this is the channel we talked about. They're now trapped. So now you want to see something like this hold and bids start to form for that upside move. So we're holding weekly levels down here. Previous week high. What I would be careful of now is if ES takes out these local highs at 59 or 65 and then fails, I'd say you're in trouble. Right, ES right now is up here. It's right up here. This guy. Is that what you're talking about, Raf? Some big guys up above. These are the spoofers. They've been there all day just playing games. All day long. Right, can we produce a higher low here before we start squeezing? It'd be nice if we could produce a higher low before we start squeezing, but apparently we're just going to squeeze. Okay. So we've got some wicks here at 76s. That's probably short stops right now. Right here. This is where buyers are stuck above here. So we need some kind of pullback which holds and then produces a higher high to confirm all this. So far, this is nothing more than a squeeze. We need something like this to confirm it. Remember, higher time frame is bullish. We talked about this morning. Dips are what are going to pay the most today. The spoof has already moved again. Fucking guy, man. Where have you moved to now? Oh, you've completely left. This is another like thing that I hate to see. You know, when we're seeing guys play around with 1,000 lot spoofing, and he's done it all morning long. I mean, this is a guy who can really move the market. That's trading millions of dollars doing that. Doesn't fill me with confidence. All right, ES basing out. We're trying to base out and make a flag here. I'd like a deeper pullback first. If we get all the way back to these highs, remember, we're just going to do a giant inverted head and shoulder. All right. If we get all the way back there, if we bid above this, we're going to do a giant head and shoulder. I want to see Goog go green here. It's trying. And see how we act when we take out, or if we can take out 76s. We should take out 76s and then maybe can trigger a squeeze back to the New York high. I'm still waiting for that pullback. How much longer we've got here for a new 5-minute? All the time we protect, I guess, the levels of 53 and then 35 here. Any pullback into those levels, which holds, should be bullish. And he's about to take out that stop run here. Very close to taking it here, folks. So if you're already in this long, you can take a partial if we run this stop, because you might get a little squeeze through it. I'm still waiting for that pullback. It's still not giving it to me. Seriously, market. All right, ES taking out those local highs. It's going for its Newsweek high now. This is just ridiculous. Okay, can we get that pullback which holds? See some form of pullback that holds here now, because we've run these stops. We know there's buyers trapped above, so I don't really want to long in here. Oh, please, market, come on. I'm looking for something like this, and we can add on if we base above. If we just go squeeze, then I'll think about having to find a way to join up there. It's not ideal. We get anywhere near value? Nope. Okay, here we go. Come on, give it a pullback. Come on. Let's see if we can form some structure here. Here's the anchor. So I want to see either sort of 53s, or if we go really deep into sort of 37s, see how we act. Obviously, if we go straight back down after sweeping the highs and we don't form bullish structure, then it's a no touch, no play. Because it can just be a bull trap over that high if they've all chased in there. So waiting to see if we form some structure here, anywhere here to get long, anywhere from sort of 53s to, I keep saying it and forgetting the number, anywhere from 53s to sort of 35s. It would need to hold some form of high low somewhere around there. If it fails to do that, then they've just trapped bulls over that high. There's a VWAP tag there. Still buyers hang out at 40 at the moment, which I don't love. Seeing some buyers come in here. Are they going to force it up? Problem is that this market is being a dick because it's taking internals and then pulling back, which means we don't leave liquidity up there to aim for. It's so bad. Like, I can't really explain how bad this is. Like, we don't really want to see this take out this and then pull back. We want to see this, but of course it won't do it. It goes straight up first, which means we've already run the stops. So the danger is here. If it can't hold this, it comes all the way back down. So you can't bid in this now because you can't be confident that we're going to take this out. That's the hard thing in this market. The way they are using the liquidity is disgusting. Disgusting. Which means I have lack of confidence in trading this right now. We've got to like play when momentum's there, basically, is what I'm saying, because I can't bid as this pulls back, given that we've left internals. We keep rejecting here. We shouldn't be rejecting here, and that's not a good sign. We should just be trading through if we're holding this pullback. That's not a good sign. We should be trading straight through 65s here. Oh, man. I couldn't be less interested in this market if I tried this week. Needs to find a bid here. Needs to produce that higher low. They keep adding lower, which is not nice, and they're not forcing this through the 65s. Let me just check lower. Come on. You've got to get through 65s. It really shouldn't be that hard. If we're going to go, you've got to go. Microsoft green, Nvidia green, Tesla green, Google now green, like we talked about, which is what we wanted to see. Need to see this through 65s, then we should squeeze these internal highs, and then we can think about New York, as in the New York highs. Why are you struggling so much up here? Come on. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Let's get going now and take out these internal highs then. And then I want to see us base above this now. I want to see us through 80s and base above 80s. Shouldn't be so hard. Come on. If you're wondering why I'm getting frustrated, because it shouldn't be hard to move 15 points in NQ. Mate. Big issue here is if we can't get above here. Right. If this is the high low, great. Fantastic. We need to set a higher high, and then we need to base in here to use this liquidity. All right, so this is the thesis right now. Needs to get up here and base above this now to use this liquidity. I do not want to see it, because we've already swept this, come up here and reject. That will not be a good look. It needs to get above it all at this point. ES looks great. Yeah, I agree. ES wants that Newswick high. Totally agree with you. It's going to get that Newswick high. It's just a question of when. I totally agree with you. That is exactly what it wants. At 565.25. That's exactly what ES wants. See, this is the problem right now. Had we not taken this pullback here should have happened here, and then we could have gone for it. The problem now is that we've taken it. It can still do this, but we need to see this really at this point. We're still inside of IB. We're basing on top of Globex now, which is positive if we can hold this kind of range here. Oh, come on, market. How are we fighting over 15 points each day? All right, ES looks good for it. Just trying to break out of that local high. It should go on ES now. Those of you who are long ES, you should be able to get your move. NQ needs to come out and take out 75s, and then we can look for that New York Open at basically 4,000. Come on. Fuck me. Really? That's how little momentum is. I just need to mentally reset here. I'm just getting frustrated with how bad a market this is. I said it to my team in Discord this morning, even when I turned up to the charts. I was like, I'm frustrated with this market. It's shit. It remains shit. Even when we do breakouts, NQ just can't do anything. I don't blame it, because if I was an investor, well, I am an investor, I'm not buying up here. So I don't blame the market for being in this push pull, but it's the day trading is a nightmare at the moment. Right, ES, you want dips to hold on ES versus sort of 60, 559, 50, somewhere around that. Right, you need dips to be holding there. All right, is NQ going to do it now? I mean, it's like 17 lots here that they're unable to trade through. Just measure this out. Stuck at 50. Yeah, I'm the same, Bowden. I cut mine, I got frustrated with it and cut it. So that's me for the day. We're rejecting. The problem is, like I talked about, we've trapped these buys up here. So here's the pullback on ES, which we'll need to hold. Market looks pretty thin. Look at the book map. Look how thin that is. Look how uninterested participants are at the moment. Sorry, folks, there's not much I can do. When we have markets like this, which has been the case for a couple of weeks now, it's like, you know, when it's there, we can attack. When it's not, we can't. Yesterday was the same. We attacked. We got one good trade. I also found out at the end of the stream that my copier had not taken me out of one, so I gave back on, or it was actually on two accounts, but one of them I gave back a lot because it was a 250k. Which also, I don't know if I fully got rid of that tilt, because I think I probably gave back a good $1,500 on it, which definitely paid me off. There we go. It's what happens when you copy different sizes between the accounts. Right, ES held that pullback we just talked about. We just talked about that pullback into sort of 58. It actually drifted a bit lower to 57s, but it's holding. We're just at 50% of this range from this high to this low. Buyers are trapped above here. Once we get above those levels, maybe, just maybe, we get that sort of inverse head and shoulders. Until then, it's really, really hard to think about that. Every push up here is being sold into. Maybe, just maybe. They're having another attempt here. Come on, just get through 75s, man. Just bid through it. Oh. How many attempts to get through this SBR? If they can't do it, at some point they give up and they rotate lower. And then what we've got is when we come down here, we've got a lot of then liquidity. If they cannot get through here and they get stuck here, we're going to come lower on the session, right? So I'm not going to rule that out. If we get above here, we can have this push. But right now, we're seeing a lack of anything. It feels to me like ES wants that Newswick high. So NQ really should be trading through 75. It really should not be this hard to trade through it. I mean, look at the tape. Oh, a whole 17 lot and 20 lot there. Like, seriously, folks. We're not going to trade through that. We're just going to get stuck at the 50% all day, are we? And just trade sideways like yesterday for hours and hours and hours on end. You can tell I'm a happy bunny with this market right now. I love it. All right, building out lots of volume up here. You want to be careful. Point of control on the session's now flipped up here. If we cannot get above here and start moving value area high upwards, God, that's an awful A, then we're going to be in trouble. We need to break through this and base above for bulls to take control of this market in this session. The aim of the game will be to get through this and take this out, and then this out, and then this out, and then all-time highs. Here's attempt number 1 million. Right, come on, just break through it. It's a 22 lot. Seriously. Absolute pussies on the tape today. What was traded there? Ooh, 35, 36. Yeah, they can't trade through this. They're struggling. At some point, I think we see a nasty candle. Can't just keep doing this forever. At some point, you should get a boner candle straight through. Yes, wants that high. Come on. Thank the Lord. Now, can you hold this bid? Seriously, guys. Dreadful. Another attempt here. Into the 80s now. Trying to hold the bid into 80s now. Can they get through 80s? The answer so far has been no. Every push is struggling here, folks. Every single push. So you wonder, like, because we haven't swept this, is there a lack of bears trapped in this market? It's possible. Maybe now. Maybe now. No. Still not now. I mean, we're fighting over. Where's the ATR? ATR isn't actually that bad. It's at 17. Well, the last candle was 17. Before that, we were at 10s. ES also doing the same thing. It's failing to drive out and take that high. Yeah, exactly, Bowden. If you don't like this level, let it fail. Don't just go sideways all day. It's just this grindy bit again. Worst market in the world. Grindy bid. Why shorting here is bad? Well, because we're producing higher highs and higher lows on the lower time frame. And if you zoom out, we're producing higher highs and higher lows on the higher time frame. And while we've got buyers stuck here, that's all you've got. So, you know, what happens if we do this up to here? You need to see rejection. All right, really, you want to see a spike, rejection, failure, breakdown, and breakdown under key levels. But we've already held previous day high and previous week high and this blue box. So you are shorting against the current momentum if you're doing that on every single time frame right now. So that's why it would be bad. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, but for me, it's not a trade. That's not a setup. We're in a buy signal right now. If we move to a 5 minute, we probably never shifted to a sell. Yeah, buy signal the whole day. All right, ever since this morning. And even that was just a pullback to buy. Look, I go to a 15 minute. All right, it's grindy. I'll give you that. It's horrible and grindy, but that was an RBS. We bid off grind, 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 expansive, probably grind, 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 and then we can make a decision here if we get a failure. If and when the short comes after we take out, please, for goodness sake, let us take this out. If we then start doing this, then there's a fantastic short down to here and here. Until that point, you're just guessing. Even if you're going to take a scalp short, you need lower highs and lower lows. Yes, there's trap players up here, but you need something to risk off. ES having a failure up there, coming back to low volume. Right, it's coming back down to test those 55s now. Yeah, and we're pretty much midpoint of that IB, quite right, Dean. This is just sitting still for me. Oh, I'm not guessing short on this, and I'm not playing long here if there's no momentum. So for me, this is definitely not a short. There's no multi-time frame short. There isn't a short trigger here on anything right now, on absolutely nothing. I don't agree with that 30-minute, what you just said. Don't agree. If you're shorting up here, you're just playing against the supply to the left, and we don't have momentum to play that way. There's no clear rejection. There's no volume rejection. Stop taking lost pennies. Like, I don't get what you're saying there. No one's gone for big home runs, and 10 to 15 points in NQ is the ATR of one candle. So I don't really understand that either, but you know, how can you must be risking 1R every time. Like, are you trading in the middle of a candle and risking 10 points to make 10 points? Like, that's going to happen in seconds. You must lose as a lot, because I don't see where the edge comes from. Unless you're literally break even every single second you have the opportunity, because 10 to 15 points is, you know, less than an ATR. That seems kind of nuts to me, but each to their own if it works for you. ES looks like it wants to come back down to this low vol. It's sort of trading on the edge of it. It might come and test that New York view up. Spider's the same. I still lack interest in this. This is just the grind market that we've had. This is the low vol in here. Right, it's low vol from here. This is decision point. If we reclaim this, this is definitely available, and we have low hanging fruit still up here. If buyers fail to take control here, I will consider the short only if I see a clear rejection and lower highs and lower lows, which you do not see at the moment. I'm not going to guess the top here just because these guys are trapped. No way. My entry time frame is a 1 minute. Yeah, the ATR on a 1 minute is more than that. That's why I don't understand if you're going for 10 to 15 points. But it's like, you've clearly got, well, I mean, you say you've got a system that works, which is fine. All right, here's VWAP on the ES starting to fade. It failed to take out those highs. So if ES starts letting go here, NQ will slide with it. Right now, it can still find a bid here on ES. It's coming back to point of origin. We are in the middle of initial balance. I'm going to get a coffee real full because I can tell I'm frustrated. I was frustrated before I even came to this market this morning because I knew we were going to have a shit session again. The moment we didn't take out that all-time high. It's just boring. All right, I'll get a coffee. I'll be back. Market's gone to sleep. I'm going to give this until the new hour. And tell you what, if we've not moved in the next 25 minutes, I'm out of here. I'm not going to sit here and watch this all day. Again, Lost Penny, I understand what you're saying, but the ATR of a 1 minute candle is about what you're saying. So exactly what I'm saying, you must be 1-to-1 on every single 1 minute candle, because you've got a high probability with a stop loss. You originally said 10 to 15, now you're saying 15 to 20, right? With a 10 to 15 stop loss and a 10 to 15 take profit, you are very likely to get whipped out non-stop. For example, right? Say for some reason you enter long here, you'll get stopped out before it goes, because the range 20 point or less than 18 points, probably 18 points. You see my point? Unless you're timing these absolutely perfectly for that move, what's that? That would have got your TP. If you're timing these absolutely perfectly, you'll get your TP, but you'd have to be very accurate. Average true, yeah, true. Average true range per candle. Your average size of each candle is the same as your TP and stop loss, is what I'm saying. I mean, 1-to-1 is totally acceptable. 1-to-1 R is totally acceptable. I like multiples of. People will know I like to look for where I've got a target. Like, let's say now, had we not taken this out, right? Had we not taken this out and this pullback held, I would have been something like this. I always think about where I'm aiming for. So I would have been TP1 at 3.6, TP2 at 5.1, TP3 6.7, TP4 9.44, or actually 9.5 would be here, and that is my final target for the day, all the way up there, which would be a 12R. And it's not a home run, it's based on liquidity. I'm not like trying to oversize. It's just based on liquidity of where the market should want to go. The market at the moment can't get there, and ES is failing. ES is just stuck inside of that news candle this morning. So it's not taking the high, it's not taking the low. Again, those are the worst market conditions you can ask for, is when we don't take a high and don't take a low. So at least on NQ, we took the low. If you go to ES, this is nasty. We're doing a dance inside of this candle range, all right? Every time it's had the ability this morning, like this is nice, this pullback should have held to take this out. It didn't. Buyers got trapped. Now we're stuck. If they rotate under here, what do you think happens? We come and take this. Then maybe they revisit. Maybe we stay heavy and close that gap. NQ the same, but we took this low. So if we protect this, this is still possible. This kind of chop and then grind is possible, as is a failure and a rotation. If you want to see similar examples of this, go back to yesterday. Yesterday's New York session. These moments here, fails to break down, push, push, chop for ages and ages and ages and ages, finally do it. Chop for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages, finally do it. All right, that's been the market at the moment. It's a grind market. You have to have immense patience in this market, I would say. It's good for swing traders. Oh my God, I feel like I can't even talk anymore. You don't need the ATR to trade. The ATR tells you the size of the candles, and you are trading with a TP and a stop loss the size of the candles. Does that... I don't know how to make that make more sense to you. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I feel like I'm just banging my head on a brick wall here. Correct, Oleg. Absolutely correct. I take partials into key levels of liquidity. It's exactly how I trade. All right, ES, right into its POC on the session. And stuck at VWAP. The RR box and trading view. Which one's it in? One of these. In this one. What are these called? Whatever this one is. Projections. And then you can just go long projection. And do it like that. And then if you click into it, you can tell it, I think, what size you want. So the account size and the lot size you want to trade with. And it can tell you RR if you need to do that. All right, ES trying to find a bid on VWAP, but again, sideways. Market sideways. Nothing's happening here, folks. This is potential to break out. It has potential. Right now, I almost want to see it do that at this point, given the weakness we've just seen in ES on that pullback. If we start repricing above 4,000s, then it's game on. It's game on. Been enjoying these streams for answering my questions. Appreciate it. No worries, buddy. Volatility and volume control the market, period. Yeah, quite right, John. Volume controls the market. End of story. Volume is king. When you add into a trade, where do I place my stop? I'll only add in if a trade firms up. So I'll try and give an example today. I didn't trade this, but like had I said, okay, I'm going to take this here on the reclaim, that might be a starter. And I'm probably risking this here because this is the structure which allowed it. And once that pulled back, if I add in here, all right, I can't move my stop yet. But if we start to firm up over here, now my stop moves under this swing. If I add in here, well, we haven't really protected these yet, so I probably couldn't hold or move my stop up. But I'd be waiting. If we get a break above and a hold, then my stop would move to here, right? So I'm just walking my stop up as I add into the trade. But I'm also taking partials out when we hit key levels. So this would be a key level, this would be a key level, this would be a key level, and this would be a key level. And Q looks like it might want to get going here. We've got lots of sellers on the tape here. 80, 85, 90, 95, 4,000. 4,000, sorry, 400. Is that right? 4,000, 4,000. $3,000X, I didn't. What is that? The new Pioneer? Is that replacing the Nexus? I haven't seen it. Oh, actually, I might have seen... Is that what James Hype was playing on with his stupid hot cues? DJ! DJ, mate. Should be shut up. All right, still trapped in range here. This market's gone to sleep. Look, the volume's gone. It just went nah. Nah, we're going to sleep. Typical trade size depends on what account I'm playing. Anywhere from 2 to 3 micro starters up to like 3 minis, depending on the account size. You're not missing anything, Tyson. We had one short. I had one short. Well, I had a long pre-market and then a short after the open, and that's it. Nothing else. Wi-Fi built into the CDJs. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. What's the Wi-Fi used for? Just updating the system? Surely not. Surely we're not into the stage where we're streaming tunes instead of using a USB, are we? That sounds like a nightmare. I'd never do that if that's the case. Mid-set, router goes out. On volume potentially spike up until 12 a.m. Usually it doesn't if it's been slowing down. It can, like, we just need something to move the market. Market's not willing to move. Yes, breaking down here. Yeah, exactly, Peter. That's the worry, right? Let's make the game even easier. Okay, finally breaking out here, filling these players. We're coming back up towards that New York Open. Is there going to be follow through? We're starting to build. Right now, we can potentially build. We're starting to potentially build a quasi here. Trading view is so annoying. All right, if we can build more here, we have potential. The problem is this is really ugly. Right, none of this has been swept. Maybe there's one internal sweep here, in fairness. But if we build out here, then we can get going. You're going to need Apple and Amazon to start playing ball. Needs to, like, get back above these levels, really. Otherwise, this is what happens. My feeling is this is dangerous. Right, because we like buying continuation to be built this way, don't we? All right. Like this was actually quite good. This is dangerous for bears because of this. This inversed is the same as this. Possible. It's just grindy. This has been the market for the whole summer, really. The whole summer. Yeah, I agree, Peter. It's one of the reasons I quit, man. Talentless people. I mean, my mate's done the record, so I'm not talking crap about the record, but just like look at Ibiza final boss situation. I mean, he signed to Relentless yesterday. I know Carneo made the record, but I mean, seriously, you get signed for having a bowl cut haircut. Like, this is the world we're now in. He's doing PA appearances in Vegas. Like, behind the decks was Solomon at Pasha. Like, it's just the world of talentless people. That's what we're heading towards. Just as well, there's AI. People's worried about them taking their jobs, but most of these new people coming through don't have jobs. Their job is to take a picture on Instagram. Thank God we've got AI which will actually do something. What we're going to need is skilled workers. builders, plumbers, electricians, things like that is going to be what's going to actually going to be necessary in this world. What computers can't do. Okay, they're trying to fill this guy at 400 and 405. That, remember, that's the IB high. ES is still trading sideways. Tyson, what kind of music do you play? So, but I'll tell you, my wife was away because she was DJing at the Apple event. She said it was actually really good. She had fun. My buddy Dom Dollar was down there watching it, but they didn't get to see each other. I'm a working drummer in Vegas. That's cool. What like, do you play the shows, or do you play just like for musicians out there, or? That's really cool, man. See, legit skill. Most important skill in a band, the drummer. Harrods 4 days a week. That's awesome, man. I used to, a long time ago, like 12, 13 years ago, maybe even longer actually, I used to play at the Playboy Casino in London. And we used to have a live band with us there. They were incredible, absolutely incredible. They just like jam with us while we were playing. And they did like a show first, like a cabaret kind of show that they'd play. They were just so amazing. I just feel so inferior, like when I see real talent like that. Like, you know, reality is DJ presses play. At least I produce my records, but the DJ presses play, and then they want to act like a god. Like, you're pressing a button. Like, come on. You want to see a god? You go and watch Oasis. That's a god. Yeah, that's a good point, Coop. I'm actually going to Vegas, not this weekend, next weekend with a buddy. Maybe I'll try and stop by. Progressive. What kind of artist do you like, Tyson, in that space? So ES breaking down here, like I talked about, we might well come and sweep here on NQ. The way it's building out liquidity is ugly. This grindy kind of play is not something I'm interested in longing right now, because it's how it's building or failing to build liquidity, and ES is breaking down. Right, ES just produced a lower high, and if it's going to start breaking a lower low here, we're going to go down to the next view up, and if it breaks that, we're going to go and test value on the day. Tool, oh, sick. Yes, I love that. All right, potential breakdown here. Q's coming into view up. SPY under its view up already. Nvidia, the strong one today. We've got a complete mixed bag. Tesla, 1.90% up. Nvidia, 4.54% up. Microsoft, 0.64% up. Google, 0.21% up. Meta, 1.50% down. Amazon, 2.03% down. Apple, 2.74% down. All right, complete divergence in the MAG. Divergence in between the SPY and the QQQ right now as well. And the VIX, I'm going to maybe attempt to come and retest 15s soon, which is PDL. I'll show you what I got through the other day. I did show this to my Discord. I think it was Monday I found out, which is pretty cool. 10 years too late, but we got it. I don't know if you can see that, but that is my #1 plaque. Finally came through from the official chart. So if I ship it out here with my discs, maybe I'll put them back there. So many discs I'm owed as well, which I might start going in, telling the record labels that I want. I'm owed one for Jamiroquai. I'm owed one for Megan Trainor. I'm owed 2 for Jess Glynn. Who else? There's got to be others. Chasing status. I want my discs. Give me my discs. Labels. All right, still holding RBS. Spider's coming back to VWAP. Yes, holding its 24-hour VWAP. Stuck between New York VWAP and 24-hour VWAP. My bias is still upside. It's just, you know, we are not sweeping. Again, we've not swept. Leaving so much liquidity. But, I mean, this is your channel. If you're buying these dips, it's working for you. I just can't make myself buy these dips right now. And Charlton State's first album, saw them play at my uni with Plan B. Yeah, I redid All Gone Wrong with Tom Grennan. They're good lads. Are they special discs? Silver plats and gold discs, silver, gold, and platinum discs. Yeah, for sales. I don't know what the numbers are. It was like, I think it was like 600,000 as a silver. And what gold might have been. Is that right? That sounds like a lot. Is it 60,000? Have I got that wrong? $60,000. There we go. Oh, singles at 200,000. So 60 for the album. That's why I was getting confused. Okay, so 200 for silver, probably 400 for gold, 600 for platinum. Oh my god, does anyone else want to get a grenade and eat it right now? That's what I want to do. Yeah, I really like some of their newer stuff. I always hammer the stuff with Becky Hill. And done. So good. Boom, 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 boom. So heavy. I love it. They were in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. I missed them. I'd love to see them live. Look at the amount of liquidity being built up here. All this volume. Someone's going to get hurt. It's not going to be me. All right, all this volume up here right now. Bids came down off here. We retested once. Did we take after we took the high, which is horrible. And ever since then, we're just in one of these. Would not be surprised to see this get down here. If these guys do not get this move, all right, then they will get stuck. Would not surprise me in the slightest to see them get stuck and get swept, especially with how ES is operating. Back to VWAP again on ES. Open at its 5-day MA. Yeah, I've only got a little bit of size left, and on that big push I sold. I know investors underground are all over it to the short side today, celebrating over, you know, ooh, we made 40 cents and 30 cents. Ooh. Idiots. Right? Celebrating like these moves. All right. I'm long from 198. Here. And I sold into this and this and this and a little bit here. And now I'm holding. All the time it holds any of this, I'm willing to hold for the 50-point rate cut. All right. If we get that, I'm looking to take these levels out for a giant squeeze. Could be a buy the rumor, sell the news. It's possible that before FOMC we do it, but you know, I'm runners now unless we really start to firm up. Just mad to me. I used to trade that way, like 30 points. You're celebrating 30 cents. I was up 300% at one point. This anchor VWAP still holding. Let's have a look at ES. See the weakness? All right, it's just doing rotation from initial balance back down to VWAP. If we fail VWAP, we go down to this low. If we fail that, we probably take out news candle low. If we bid off this, above here is probably a long trigger back to these. It's just choppy. Oh, JD, that is a beast move. Nice, man. You got better entry than me. 175s. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, we did call out in Discord. I told everyone when I started getting long. So I do play some swings. There is some stuff I'm looking at the moment, especially given what happened yesterday with Open. But it's a bit retail heavy and a bit high right now for my taste. I haven't actually checked it today. We can have a look. I am eyeballing this, but I want a significant pullback to wash out everyone chasing. I'd love something back into here, fill this gap. All right, this will be a long-term swing. Even if we come under these, that's fine. This will be a long-term swing for the next 5 to 10 years I'll be looking at. Any structure in here, that's so good, that hold there. I missed it earlier in the month. Yeah, definitely noted it. But it's too much retail in it at the moment. I need to let them get shaken out. Yeah, exactly, John W. Nate. I mean, they're great traders, don't get me wrong. They are great traders. It just makes me laugh how short celebrate over, like, you know, these tiny moves. Although there was a absolute monster the last 2 days. There's something that gapped up like 1,000 and over 1,000%, which gave a front side and back side. And there was something yesterday that faded like 500%. I didn't see them. I saw it all on Twitter. Obviously, me and Coop used to trade with all those guys. So Alex, give me some heads up. What is the market waiting? What's it waiting for? I honestly think it's waiting for rollover at the moment. CPI tomorrow should be a more important print than PPI. But like, we just got to zoom out, right? If we zoom out, in fact, I can just do it on OBS. If we zoom out right now, right, for a couple weeks, we shifted volume down, down, down. This week or last week, we shifted it up. So this big fail, which came on Friday last week, came into where? This big area that we were looking at, this RBS zone. And ever since then, we've just been on a grind, right? All we've done is grind, which means it's very hard for bulls to get involved and shorts are just getting trapped over and over again. This level here held, we didn't even sweep. All right, so there's multiple touches, 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and grind off it and bid yesterday and pull back and hold and up to almost the highs and so far pull back and hold. All right, that's the structure on an hourly. And what we need to do is take out this. We have to take this out before we can think about anything else on an hourly. We want to see push and pull or push and failure and down. And we can't really think about a pro trend backside until we start letting go of some key levels. All right, so probably here and definitely here. All right, and if we let go of that, then we're opening the gate to fives and then all the way down to here. This is very, very possible because it's been a straight up move. But until that point, we just have to respect that this market is in a grind up. So it's not easy to day trade because we lack, like I talked about, we lack ATR, especially when the moves happened overnight. If we look at this, right, think about where we closed yesterday. 4 o'clock close right here. Right, after hours push, pullback hold. After hours push on Oracle, pullback hold. Asia trade up, London trade up. We trade up before the New York Open. We get a huge print. Trade up. Okay. Swings. Anyone who bought the close yesterday, right, they're now up 200 plus points. We pull back. We're holding this. Anyone who's using this indicator, we have to wait for a build here to do this or some kind of bear trap to go back up. It's unfortunate, mate. It's just one of those things sometimes. We don't always get market conditions that we want, right? Like I said, like I've had numerous attempts at that. This is all I've made on the day because there's nothing else for me to do at the moment. We literally sat right on volume from that news candle. JD, what's like? I'm interested. What's your apocalypse theory? Give me something. Give me an apocalypse theory. ES now underneath its VWAPs here. IBL. You just wonder. Let's have a giggle. YM being a clean short, has it? Oh my gosh. It does make me wonder why I trade in Q. Failure to bid. Failure. IBL. PDL coming up. If you're in that short, make sure you're covering down here. Well, Nvidia almost 5% up. I'm telling you, ES looks more and more like it might break down to that IBL at the moment. A brave new world of AI and a unified ruler. Where's the ruler from? Yeah. Though no. I tried a long here a few times. Like I got like hardly anything out of it. I don't even know where, but I had a few attempts at this. Like hardly anything. And I was short here this morning. For this breakdown. That's it. That's all I've had. Scalps. I was long pre-market. Sorry. I was long pre-market off this. Most of my money came pre-market. All right, looks like ES wants that initial balance low here, folks. Some volume just came in the market there. We're getting some volume traded here. Yeah, I know, pullback free. I know. It's still trying to make its way up to previous day low. I know, Dojon. I know. That's how I felt. I was very frustrated coming to this market this morning. The moment that news candle didn't take the high, it was very frustrating because I knew if we didn't do that, it was going to be a problem. Ugh. 5 minutes. Been quite good though, isn't it? Multi-time frame bullish. Very simple. Hold of the 200. Now we're trapped at the 21. So if they can do this, those are the targets. If they fail under here, back down to here. If they fail under here, this zone. We're just midpoint right now. I guess we're midpoint of this still. Yeah. Battle. Just a battle. We can get rid of this. Get out of it. So this chart is what I have on one of my Ninja Trader screens. Right, same thing. It's not working quite right yet. So I'm still working on this box up here because Ninja Trader will only do the state of delivery based on closes, which means on a daily or a 4 hour or an hour or even M30, sorry, it takes ages to change, which is not ideal because you want to see the state of delivery changing on those. Yeah, I know, Peter. I think it was the cloud-based growth on Oracle. All right, ES Funny Beard back to VWAP again. Hasn't taken out its initial balance low. Hasn't taken out news candle lows. Back to VWAP. We're still chopping. Still nothing to do. I'm still just sat still. I know we're talking breeze here, but we can't trade this right now. We have to wait. Breaking news, Trump. What's with Russia violating Poland's airspace with drones? Here we go. All right, he just put that on Truth Social. Why don't you do something about it then? I thought that was your promise to America. I'll get it sorted in 10 days. Harder than you thought, eh? And yes, last night he started saying, "Oh, I need the EU to put tariffs on who was it? India, China, and Russia to stop to force Russia's hand." It's like EU's not going to put tariffs on people, mate. EU and you're the one doing the tariffs. No one else wants to do tariffs right now. They're struggling enough as it is. Look at the state of France last night. What a mess. UK politics, mess. Haven't heard the word breeze for a while. Yeah, chatting breeze. For you Americans, it means chatting nonsense, basically. Yes, right into its lower time frame I'll go. I still think this wants initial balance low on the ES. It looks very much like it's trying to trade down to IB low. And if it snaps that IB low, we've got two bottoms down here. It's possible then that we extend that range down to that Newswick low. Meanwhile, NQ just trading sideways. Why is it trading sideways? Because Nvidia and Tesla are holding this market up, all right? And they are worth an awful lot until we see a rotation out of this. That's Nvidia today. Remember, 74 was the level. We've held well above 74, and Tesla's on a pump as well. Big old pump. Until we see failures in these, market might well hold up. I'm going to get rid of this because we've traded through that enough times now. There goes. Yes, trying to get down to that IB low. That's what it looks like to me anyway. If they protect that IB low, oh, it would be disgusting. Because really, you'd want to see follow through on ES. If they come under that IB low, you want to see it come and take out that Newswick low. There you go. So there's the IBL. Do we get follow through here on NQ? Do we go downside? I've got a little piece on this just in case. Lovely. Let's see if we reject lower time frame now, going VWAP here as well. Now starting to clean some of these out. So remember, point of origin for this move was here. This is where buyers showed up this morning. Right now we're cleaning these guys out. So taking most of my size off here in case we recover and do this, because this can now do what we were talking about. If they reject this, then we should rotate. But this you have to pay attention to. This is where sellers got stuck this morning. This is where buyers got stuck. This is the chop range that we talk about. Very similar to yesterday. Anyone that joined me yesterday, we talked about the same thing. Buyers are stuck over here. Sellers are stuck under here. In between, this is what we do. But we do not buy when we see this. So I did take a scalp short here, blocking a little bit more money. Not a lot. A little bit. Yes, right at that initial balance low right now. So will it sell through the IB and take out the news candle low now? That would be my question on the yes. If we recover this range on NQ, then we have probably swept out enough. I'd say there's one more stop if it really wants it at 44. Think about all the buyers here who just got trapped in this volume, right? So if they stop out and if market makers actually buy this and we start bidding back up here, then I'd be very, very bullish. If we reject here and start building out structure to come down, it's a potential fade, but it's dangerous. Do they have any follow through? Remember, if Tesla starts selling off that high, you might see some follow through here. So ES back under its IB. We should see follow through on ES down to that Newswick. It should really come down to that Newswick on ES. Remember, that IB is key. Auction versus failed auction. You would, we've come this low. You'd like to see a snap and follow through. Here we go. Come on, just go all the way down for me, NQ, and then I can actually get a runner to go for me for once. Come on. Lovely. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So watching 46 and 51 here for rejection. Any reclaim of that, not interested. So added to my day nicely there. Watching ES into this IB. Can we get down under that Newswick low? Nice. Come on. Want follow through here. Come on. Beautiful. Right, make sure you're partialing out because this is where we found buyers today. Remember, ES, we're looking for that Newswick low on ES, and that might drag the NQ down with it. But this is where we found buyers today, so respect it. respect it. You can see some absorption on the tape here attempting. Still think we can lean on this short. All the time ES is staying heavy, we can lean on this short. I want ES to take that low-hanging fruit, and then we can think about what's next. Beautiful, beautiful. Come on. Let's get some follow through. Waited all day to get a move. Partialing out here into PDH. ES getting close now to that level. Make sure you're being vigilant with your sizing here. Make sure you are taking partials. We are still inside initial balance on the NQ. This is where we found bids this morning, remember. This is your Newswick low, all right? Be vigilant. Be sensible. Yeah, still protecting that low. Hasn't taken it yet. Coming back to back test. Initial balance. Still think we can move lower here, but let's see. Watching ES. If it reclaims IB, I would. If it leaves that Newswick, it's going to be gross, guys. It can be really gross. We want to keep these buyers above IB trapped on ES. Come on, let's see some follow through here, market. Let's see guys bidding at 25s. I think if we can get through 25s, we should get to those 900s. Here we go. Come on, sell through these 25s. I keep refreshing on the bid here. Sell through these 25s. Come on. Come on. Getting tight here. Come on. Sell through it. Sell through it. Sell through him. See some follow through. Come on. 25's key here. You can see they keep trying to absorb it here into 25. So if we sell through this, we should get down to 900s, and ES should go for that Newswick low. And then we're going to be risk off, completely risk off at that point. Still holding these 25s in front of PDH right now. If sellers don't get followed through here, do not be surprised to see it squeeze all the way back to 50 on NQ, right? Do not be surprised to see it squeeze all the way back. Remember, any reclaim up here, we're going to go long today for this. All the time we're staying heavy, leaving these guys trapped. We're looking for this kind of move and a breakdown. Maybe we can come down into PDC in here if we get really, really, really lucky. Yes, re-tagging into initial balance. So don't be surprised if they give a little squeeze up towards 50s here. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Come on. Come on, ES. You know you want to do it. You know you want to reject IB and fail. Here we go. Looking for a trade through 25s. Can we let go of 25s here? Still absorbing the tape there at 25s. It almost needs that squeeze up here to see some failure. What's the edge of value there? 546 on ES. What's ours here? 40s. There's that low vol. 45. Okay. So I'm watching to see if we build some form of liquidity out here for this. If we start reclaiming these levels, I'm not thinking short. Okay, if we reclaim these, then shorts will get trapped. But otherwise, I'm looking too short back down to this at the moment. Nice. Come on. What time? All right, darling. Did she have a good walk? Yeah. All right. Loves you. Yes, right on its IBL. I actually want this to just give a little bit of a squeeze out here before it fails. It would be more ideal, but we might not get it. So PDH here on NQ. Still sort of holding those 25 levels. We dipped under it and came straight back above it. Here we go. Maybe we get that little squeeze out here. And we can see what's what. We come and test these 50s. This edge here, 37. What's this M5? Big old imbalance on the M5 left. 40s all the way up to 65. Let's say 40s to 65 basically becomes a key. Basically this. How we operate in here now becomes key, whether we produce selling continuation in here or a reclaim for this, selling continuation for this. That node there, 54. Yeah, it's a good reaction there so far. Strong reaction. Still some sellers at 45 and 50 like we talked about. The seller just moved down to 40 here. He's looking to get filled at 40. He might get filled here. There's 40 filled. There's 45 starting to fill. He's actually lifting his offer a little bit here. And a buyer's come back in at 40 now. So they're lifting the offer here. So maybe the squeeze can go a bit higher. And a seller coming in there trying to absorb the tape now. So this is what we talked about. Squeeze into 50s and decision time coming up for this market. Here's your VWAP. Remember, buyer's stuck up here. You'd want to see this protected if we're going to sell. Draw this up the same way. Rejection of VWAP there. Rejection of value so far on ES. So reclaimed IB, rejecting value. Like we've talked about that 5, 4, 6, 50s. Now, is there follow through downside? This is the key now for sentiment for the day. If there's follow through downside, we should take out that Newswick low after this little squeeze. If there's been too many sellers sort of underneath 40, they will get trapped. And look at Mr. Spoofer, Mr. 1000 lot, 1100 lot up at 60 now. If he starts lifting the offer, he's going to cause a major problem for sellers because we're probably going to use him as a magnet. And if we go up there and he starts lifting, it'll cause the squeeze. If you wonder what I'm talking about, just look at the book map above. Come on, let's see some follow through now. Come on, because we're reacting nicely to this volume. We want to see follow through straight under this all the way down. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Beautiful. Come to Papa. Come on, ES. We want to break down underneath this low. We do not want to see any reclaims here. We want follow through downside. One thing I want to be aware of. What have we said for the last few months? Who has failed to have any follow through downs in this market? It's been sellers, right? Correct analysis. What on this squeeze up to 50s? Yeah. I just know how the market likes to operate. That's all it is, right? And it offers a better trade. It actually offers a better trade when you see that. Right, come on, ES. Looking for ES to break down the lows and take out the news candle low, and then we're going to be risk off if we can do that. Here comes ES testing low of day. Let's see some follow through and a snap here, please. ES, come on. Stop faffing. Don't trap. Just break. They hold this low, it's going to be dangerous. If they hold the low, it will be dangerous. Very close here on ES. There we go on ES. Can we get follow through to the news candle low? Looking for a breakdown here on NQ as well. Looking good here, folks. We're looking good. You can take partials into this if you're concerned. I'm looking for a breakdown underneath previous day high, 91s, and then ideally we retest the initial balance, which is basically the 900s. But we're getting thick here on the book. You can see it on the book. They are stacking up here. 27, 25, 22, 20s, 17s, and 10s, and then 900s. I'd like to see all these get sold through. Remember, we've already had the low-hanging fruit on NQ today. We're just trying to trade down for momentum if ES is going to continue. Looking good here, folks. Looking good. Let's fucking go. How patient were we today? Very patient. What did I say? I will not long in this. This is not buying continuation. They got stuck here. And once we saw momentum, then we play the fade. All right. So you're partialing out. We're looking for this. And if we really want to get heavy, this is gap fill. Make sure you're paying yourself. ES is getting very close now. If you're trading ES, you're basically looking for 39s, I think it is. You're looking to see if 39s are traded. I think it's 39. Let me just check this. 38.75. Might as well call. Yeah, 39. You're looking to see if 39s can be traded. That's your TP. PDH there is a 36s. And if you fade that, you've got room. And the difference from waiting and not waiting, you know. Beautiful. ES getting very close here, folks. Very close now. Just needs another point or two. Almost there on the ES. We're almost there on the ES. Remember, do not get short in the hole down here. The short was up here, right? It was here. It was here. It was here. It is not here where we found bids, all right? Because your RR needs to be here covering into these zones. If we break down and base under this, we can think about something else. Same trade every single day. If you just trade the flow zones, then, you know, I give you a really nice one. Look at this strong trend. Look at the difference in the flow zones from that point. 950's line in the sand. Yeah, sort of for sellers. Sort of. If we reclaim that, you would say this is possible. I would agree. I mean, it could do a little trap and then a fail, but yeah, I would tend to agree with you. ES being a dirty little girl right now, not taking out that low. We've hit a low of 40 and we need to hit a low of 39. She nasty. She nasty. John, yeah, nice. Yeah, W's in chat if you got that with me. We had to be so patient today. But, you know, that's how we trade. This is how I trade. I wait for one side to get stuck. I will not just guess a top. I will wait for one side to get stuck. I'll wait for momentum to come. I'll wait for a more obvious setup. Have to be so patient trading, folks, especially in these markets. They will punish you if you're not patient. John got it. Lee Kim, Ken got it. Peter got it. Brandon, Marek, Leron, Troy, love it. Love it, love it, love it. All the regulars. Sergio, nice work, team. Right, ES coming back to its initial balance. It has not swept the low. It's failed to sweep the low here on ES. Do not overstay your welcome. Yeah, John got it. Raphael, Jesse, Chris, Omolabi, John Doe. Really nice. Really nice. Even if you missed this first one, I couldn't have made it more clear. I'd love to see a squeeze out to 50 and a fail. There you go. Even this got you paid 25 points. Right? It can still move lower here. We just need ES to fail. If we start reclaiming, obviously do not touch it. You do not touch reclaims. See all these bids underneath. They're trying to walk up now to get filled. That 50 still up there. Is there anyone above that? Yep, there is. Still some big sellers up at those 400s. Never got filled this morning. We're still in a range as well, folks. So worth remembering. We're just in a range. I'd say this is sentiment for the day. This point here, this anchor. All right, they bid, they failed. They failed. If they fail again, can still make a new range here. If they reclaim, I would not be thinking short. If we reclaim this grey box and this anchor, this is still possible. We still have unfinished business, right? We have unfinished business here, here, here. We have divergence everywhere. ES took these out and made a new all-time high up here. NQ took this out. ES has not taken this out. So divergences are all over the place right now. See money, take money type environment. Yeah, Omalabi took the retest. Nice. Looks like we're coming back towards it in a moment. Was in ES also, but had to TP at 39s. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's horrible that it did that, but it did it. Today's price action is trash. Still little bearish, but it's hard to hold and not scalp. Yeah, agreed. Very hard to hold and not scalp. You need to be scalp mentality inside range. You just go back here. I mean, we had some bidding down here. What was the delta? I need to split that to have a look. Anyone got a delta read down there into 40 on ES? I'm surprised we didn't come and fill this guy at 37. I'd imagine there's someone got caught offside down there. Okay, back into this imbalance, squeezing back up. ES back towards VWAP. Leaving that liquidity again. How long we got left here? 20 minutes. Running out of time here to do much else as well. Running out of time here to do much else. Decision point. Is this a little sweep to trade lower? Or do we go and squeeze back above sort of anchor 60s? Yeah, 60s. And Apple's getting fucking hammered. They just won't learn. I kept saying it in Discord yesterday. If they don't do something with AI, which they didn't, market will just say, hey, there's only so many iPhones we can care about. Right? We don't need another thinner iPhone. We don't care. Market's lost interest. What we need is something to compete with the likes of ChatGPT. And what we want is for you to stop hiring people, in fact, get rid of people and let AI take over, because then the P&L factor is bigger and we price that in. So that's what the market's looking for in Apple. At the moment, it's not getting it, and it hasn't got it in the earnings, and it hasn't got it in its well, I don't know what you call that event yesterday, whatever that event's called. And it didn't get it in dub either, so market not very happy right now. All right, back towards VWAP, QQQ. SPY got a little way to go. ES is there right here, right now. It's starting to reclaim levels. All right, so we failed to take out the lows. What did I say? What's been the story in this market for months now? Sellers cannot take control when it's right there for them. They can't do it. They cannot do it in this market. So you've got to pay attention to that. Oh, my dog's crying next door. Give me a second. I think she's crying in her sleep. Yeah, please smash that like button. 65 of you like this today. 130 of you currently watching. I think we had 170 of you at one point. People got bored when we went sideways. I don't blame them. I almost left, but I thought, oh, I'll just hang around in case we get something. Facing around the VWAP now. This can be a two-leg that fails as long as they stay heavy versus 60s. Remember, ES has already taken low-hanging fruit. I mean, NQ's already taken low-hanging fruit. So if they want to just send this right back to the upside, they can. Can absolutely do that. We're still trading inside the opening range, let alone the initial balance. We haven't even got outside of the opening range today. Range on the day, 125 points. That's all you've got to play with right now. That's terrible, folks. So back towards these 60s. SPY coming to its VWAP. If we start getting over these 60s like we talked about, if we start reclaiming this area where we're thick, remember this is where buyers got stuck. If we start reclaiming this, they can rotate all the way back to those highs. They've got unfinished business. If we reject in here, this can still be a two-leg and we can still see some failure, but It's 50-50 given that we're midpoint of the range. Here's the test. Yes, into New York VWAP, SPY into its VWAP. If they start reclaiming these levels, shorts are going to get trapped at that lower day again. Nothing's changed, folks. Range rotation, range rotation, range rotation. That's all we're doing. Here's your 15-minute candle. No close outside, no close above. That's all you're seeing at the moment. Right? Either we're going to get one of these or we're going to get one of these. We can also just start increasing the size of this as like a big megaphone is possible. So far, 60s reacting, New York VWAP reacting. There's still sellers at 65 to 72. They're not walking it down. This is a thing, like when you learn to look at the tape, sellers are so passive. They're so passive. What does that mean? They're leaving like limits up here to get filled. Aggressive selling would maybe have a limit there, and the moment it turned would start walking it down, forcing it down. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. We're seeing the opposite at the moment. So if I show you on Bookmap, where are you? Right, these passive sellers, you want to see them walk down like this, and you want to see them keep staying heavy, keep staying heavy, keep staying heavy. They're just leaving this up there. You want to see this start to join in down here. You're not seeing it. I'll try and find it on the bid. See how this bid started to walk up with it? You want to see the sell come downside if we're looking for further downside action. And not leave it up there. You want to see them walk down now. So lots of selling trying here. They need to see a snap here, otherwise they're going to get caught. I'd be low to VWAP. Oh, on ES you mean? I was going to say, on what? Yes, I'd be low to VWAP on ES is paid. Very nice. Range rotation. Probable trade, isn't it? All right. Get rid of that. Isn't quite right. It's volume thin too. Here. Like I said, if they don't get that follow through, they're going to get caught. That's what you're seeing above me. Because these guys didn't walk it. They did not walk it. They're so passive. 10 minutes to lunch. I think we've, again, folks, I think we've done the best we can. Like, we're playing the best we can. I don't think there's not much else to catch. Like, there's no way I was trading that opening print. I wasn't brave enough to trade this, even though I called that this should fail down just based on what ES was doing. We had to wait. And once we started failing, you know, we got these shorts down here, trade one. We had a couple attempts long up here. They were break even and scalps, trade two. And trade three on stream was here, here, here. I would consider this all one trade. All right, that's your third trade. Pre-market, I was long here. That's it. That's all I've had for the day. There's been no follow through. We're trading in a 100-point range, and really, if we think about most of the session, we're trading between 25. What should we say, like an 80? So 55-point range. That's not a lot. Not a lot. So if you've made money, I think you've done very, very well, especially by being very patient. We have to be patient in these markets, folks. You are clicking buttons and clicking buttons and clicking buttons. You're going to get hurt. Yeah, boring market. Every market will eventually pay. It's just whether you're here for it, right? Like normally, I'm like, oh, I can't be asked. I'm done. All right, here's the 60. We're starting to see reclaims here. This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. So that's why I'm saying you've got to take partials down into here, because what's this? This is the origin of where we found bids this morning and held. All right, so you have to respect this. All right, this is where we start covering, and shorts who are adding in and not covering here, they're getting trapped now. Now, if we start reclaiming this, what's high probability? These here to get taken, that might cause a squeeze to this, which might cause a new trigger to this, because remember, we're using stops as pain points. So if we get above here, these stops get us to this stop gets us to this New York open stops get us to this, these stops get us to this stop gets us to this, and maybe if we're lucky, that Newswick stop gets us to this. Big if, buts, and whens, but that's what you can consider. Hardest thing is going to be location right now. Hardest thing is going to be location. Yeah, I'm not trading again today either, Peter. I honestly think we got the best moves. I really think we got the best moves. They're trying to put the turbojets on here. What's hard is when there's just no pullback. When it's a bit like this morning. Yeah, this morning, same time when shorts got trapped this morning at like 10 o'clock, there was no pullback. It went straight up for, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Basically 15 minutes just straight up without a pullback. And we did pull back here to VWAP, but we were still in underneath where those buyers were trapped. So it's not really a long there when it's doing that. Yeah. Take care. Take care, Dojon. Take care, Peter. Have a good day. All right, big levels here. Point of control here. Lunchtime coming up. I don't know what bleach my wife has used. I shouldn't complain, but it's really strong. It smells like lemon, so it's probably natural. Okay, failures here. Do they hold bids? Do they find and hold bids? Interesting. Little low volume node here on ES is stuck at 53s. If it trades through that, it's got room on ES. It's a battle. Oracle up 100 points. No way. Is it actually? That is insane. For a float that big, that is absolutely insane. Wow. It's all-time highs, isn't it? What a gap. I mean, think of all the short sellers that were guessing the top. And we held, and then we gapped. So buying opportunity would be back here now. There will be a short coming. There'll be a short on profit taking coming. But the easy momentum is a buy. That's insane, though. I mean, congrats. Anyone that was long that. I was not long that on earnings. See the weekly here. Get some targets. I mean, you're tagging into targets now. What about that last pullback? On the weekly. Yeah, you're above your measured move. You're into your 2618 here. Your 300% measured moves. Yeah, I'd say 357 to 360 looks like a massive level on both fibs. Let's do this. Yeah, 367. I think that's the same level, right? Is that what I just said? Three to 367, 3 to 371, so 345. So basically, just call it 350 to 367. It looks like a huge level if you're trading it, just in case you're trading it. Because you're at all-time highs, so all you can do now is look for fib extensions and measured moves and standard deviations. That would be way above third state. Well, actually, let's have a look. I would imagine it's way above a third standard deviation. Let me just have a quick look here, folks. Oh my god, yeah, that's probably about standard deviation 5. Yeah, that's a short soon. Wow. If you're like, what is he looking at? Yeah. All right, so that'd be a 2SD. Measure 20-day. That's a 2SD. That's a 4SD. So we're four and a bit standard deviations away. Most stocks can't live outside of 3 standard deviations ever. Historically, not outside of 2, but ever since COVID, we have had occasions where they live further outside of 2 towards 3. But yeah, beyond that, very unlikely. So I'd say there will be profit taking soon. Yeah, parabolic. That's it. Parabolic move. All right. So rejecting POC here on NQ. We're still in range rotation. Dangerous location to be thinking about anything from. Very, very, very dangerous because now you've got both sides trapped. Remember what we talked about earlier? So sellers confirmed that they're trapped below here because we held it. Buyers so far confirming that they're trapped above here because we've held it. So rotation zone is in here, which means you're playing from 33 to 66. You've got basically 33 points of rotation to play. That's it. All the time we hold this, this is possible. Failing under here, this is possible. Failing under here, low of day is possible. Failing under low of day, this is possible. Oh my God, I cannot breathe. That's so strong. I'm going to have to get off the phone and tell my wife off. Why have you cleaned? What have you cleaned with? I can't breathe. I have to take Luna out. She's going to be suffering in this. Luna! Luna! Open the window in here. That's shocking. Don't tell her. She'll chop my bollocks off. If anyone snitches on me, you know the rules. Snitches end up in ditches. Don't you snitch on me, chat. Not when I help you make money. You be kind. Yeah, same chart. Have a look. slightly different. I mean, we bid off here. Yeah, so I'd say buyers at the moment are in control here. Sellers trapped under here. Buyers are trapped a bit higher. So your rotation's a bit bigger in ES at the moment. This two leg looks like it's starting to fail here if they don't hold a bid. 1, 2. If they start to fail here, they're in big trouble. If they start to fail here, they're in big trouble. ES is holding VWAP though. Don't tell my wife. If any of you tell my wife that I've been slagging her off for being kind and cleaning our house, that would be no more streams for me. I'll tell you why, because I'll be dead. She'll chop my bollocks off, followed by my head. Looks weak here, doesn't it? NQ looks weak here. Yes, holding up really well. But we're just into where we found bids. This is where we found bids. Can't breathe. I can't breathe. All right. Lunchtime here. Lunchtime here, guys. I'm out of here. Job done. I think we had a good day. It's the best we could do today. Really, really good day. We will be back tomorrow for, well, more of the same. Well, hopefully not more of the same. Let's say more of the same trading together. Let's hope not more of the same price action. Let's hope for some better price action, shall we? Let's hope that by the end of this session, we've taken out some key liquidity levels. What I would say is the 5 minutes starting to look a little bit dangerous. We come up here. All right. Oh, we are building one of these at the moment. All right, it's a little bit dangerous. So lower low, lower highs, higher low, lower high. Someone is going to get hurt. We always talk about it. Someone is going to get hurt. All right. Don't let it be you. Do not let it be you. And yeah, peace and love. Be kind to each other. Let's please let everyone do the dance that we get outside of the range. You want to laugh? This is how much I was in a mood this morning. I was in Discord and I was saying, I was asking people to do a dance. I can't see it now. Up here. Everyone do your all-time high dance before it opens so we can think about plays. Because I knew it was going to be ugly if we didn't do it. So we knew. And we're talking about the spoofer. So here we go. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Trade safe. Hopefully you had a good day, made a little bit of money. I'm up nicely today, actually, in the end. Considering the lack of range, I'll take it. Anytime we hit 4 figures, I'll take it. All right. Peace and love. Speak soon.